What's up, guys? Welcome to Waggle Friends English, and today we're going to talk about another exception to using indefinite articles in English. So we're going to talk about whether to use a or an for you words in English.
We did a video recently talking about when to use a or an for H words, and this is kind of a follow-up video for that because it's an exception to that general rule that people use to choose which indefinite article, saying that it begins with a consonant or begins with a vowel. And we'll see today that there are some U words use a, not an.
And just like last time, guys, we created a worksheet packet that goes together with this series that we're doing on pronunciation and spoken grammar together. You can find that worksheet packet link below, and it's a free set of worksheets for you to get and to work on with us as we work through this series. Definitely go grab that practice.
English has 5 vowel letters, like we talked about in the last video: A, E, I, O, and U. And so a lot of times people use that general rule. They say U is a vowel, so that means that every word that begins with a U must take the indefinite article an.
Right.
But that is not always the case because that's not actually the correct rule. It's not the proper rule.
No, really, it's all about the sound that it makes. It's the way you pronounce that sound. Now, if you are learning English by just reading text, you're going to kind of miss out on some of these silent letters that we have, or you're going to say all the vowels the same way. But really, English is made up of 26 letters in our alphabet, but 44 phoneme sounds.
Right.
Individual sounds. That's not even the sounds we put together. So it's pretty important to learn how to pronounce things properly and adjust your grammar accordingly.
Right. So what we do in English, in America especially, is we distinguish vowels between long vowels and short vowels. Long vowels are easy because they say their name. They make the sound that their name is. So we say A. A is the long A sound, and the short A sound is ah.
So it comes down to like A as in ape is the long sound, and A as in apple for the short vowel sound. And in terms of A's, you're going to use the same an article right before that.
An ape, an apple. 2 examples of consonant letters that also have 2 different pronunciations are C and G. C can be K or S, like an S. Camel on the ceiling. And then G can sound like a J. It can sound G or J, depending on where you find it.
So a long vowel sound says its name. So A, E, I, O, and U, those are also the sounds that they make, like ape. But the short vowel sound, it's just more open. When you articulate it or when you make the shape with your mouth, you make your mouth more open. So you have A is A.
So A and then A starts off exactly the same. A, A,
E, it's more open. You're pronouncing things a little bit more forward in your mouth, which we'll talk about that in a different video. You also spend less time on short vowel sounds. So when we don't stress a certain part of a word, we tend to make it like shorter. We'll break into those things later, further down in our pronunciation series. But for now, that's what you need to know in order to understand the long and short vowel sounds. However, when it comes to U, U has got to be the odd one out. U has 2 different sounds, just like the others. It has the short U, as in umbrella, and it has the long U, as in university. But there's a problem.
The problem is that we really have to break down the long U sound and actually try to understand what our mouths are doing when we say the sound U. U.
If you really slow it down, you have a U sound, which starts with a Y. And a Y sound is a consonant sound. Therefore, you're going to say an umbrella, but a university.
Right.
Because it starts with that U. So just as a shortcut here, all UNI words, uni words, are going to have that A before it. Because those are all the Y sounds.
Right. So in our last video, it was like the opposite exception. A consonant that can take the article an. But now this one is a vowel words that take the article a. And so you got to make sure that when you're writing or when you're speaking, you keep the proper rule in mind so that you guys cannot make those mistakes because it really stands out.
Right. So we have an umbrella and a university.
We have an unhappy employee or a universe.
And to be honest, when it comes down to it, you're not looking to memorize the rule and remember it every time you say it.
Right.
What you're doing is you're remembering the rule while you study until you make yourself get into the habit. And it takes 15 to 30 times to say it correctly in order to establish a habit.
Right.
So really, as intermediate speakers, we're giving you these rules as tools for you to practice properly and get yourself set in the right habit so that when you move on to advanced speaking level, you're not going to be speaking like an intermediate or beginner level when it comes to these grammar points.
Absolutely. Native speakers, they don't think about this while they're talking. We don't think, oh, is that a vowel sound or was that a consonant sound? It's just a natural thing that happens. That's what we're hoping to get you guys to by using these practice sheets with these videos, is to try to give you guys the tools to kind of train yourself so that you can be able to do it in a new setting.
So, all right, guys, if you followed along with our grammar lessons for the last two, this is a combination of pronunciation check and grammar mistakes. So we wanted to put these two together for you. We've got another video coming out next, later this week, all about the article the. So definitely watch those and stay tuned so that you can watch the next one as it comes out and download that workbook packet so you can work on some of these and start making healthy habits with your pronunciation.
And if you guys have downloaded the worksheet, you'll notice at the very bottom there are 4 blanks. What we want you to do is we want you to find some U words in your setting or in a dictionary or something like that. Find those U words and put them there and then use the correct indefinite article. And once you've done that, share with us down below in the comments of what U words you chose and the correct articles that goes with them.
That's right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.